Bitcoin had an incredibly strong pump yesterday, and it even happened on the 5-minute time frame. We simply shot up by over $3,000. And the question most people are asking is, will this pump be sustainable? And you could say that, yes, the pump has been sustainable so far. But it's not unusual for us to pump this hard, consolidate, and then form what's known as the Bart-Simpson pattern. That means it's not at all unlikely that we'll head back down, which of course depends on whether we drop or break out to the upside. That much is clear. What was the origin of the pump? And will it really be sustainable? Because is this whole thing just news driven, or does it also make sense from a technical chart perspective? What's the outlook there? That's exactly what I'll explain in today's video, so let's not waste any time and dive right in. And with that, hello and a warm welcome to a new video on my channel. It's Max here, and today I'm giving you a very important update on the crypto market situation. It's going to be very exciting today, so make sure to watch this video from start to finish. It's going to be extremely important because what we're seeing right now could have a lasting impact on the entire crypto market. But before we jump in, please take a moment to look below this video. You'll find a button right there. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for the like. Once you've done that, feel free to head down to the comments and leave a message for the algorithm, or just write algo push or whatever you like. That would definitely be a huge help to me. I'd say, friends, let's get straight into the analysis. We'll start on a smaller time frame to take a close look at the pump to see what actually happened, where it came from, and if it'll be sustainable. And then we'll place the whole thing into a broader context. So I'd say we skip the 15-minute time frame and go straight to the 1-hour time frame. And there you can really see that we had an absolutely insane pump. Suddenly the whole thing just took off, and we pumped up by 4.86%, which is about $3,300. Now, of course, the question is, why did this happen? Sometimes markets just pump for no reason, but in this case, it wasn't random. There was a very specific reason. Trump posted on his network, Truth Social, or whatever it's called. I also shared it on my Twitter. He basically posted that they've been having very productive conversations with Iran for 2 days about a total ceasefire. Yes, that's what Trump posted. And as a result, the market naturally exploded like crazy. So Trump posted that, and shortly after, things just took off. Shortly after, the markets reacted in a super bullish way. Because, of course, in the end, Trump said, hey, we're currently negotiating peace and a complete halt to the war. And yeah, that's what led to the market being pushed upwards. But then came the big bombshell. Not that, but this right here. Then the bombshell dropped, where it was stated that Iran says the US is basically pushing for peace talks, which essentially means the US is desperate to discuss a ceasefire or negotiate for peace. But Iran didn't respond, right? So Iran didn't want to talk about it. And that naturally led to this when these rumors surfaced. By the way, to this day, I don't know or have a 100% confirmed. Source found that this is actually true. I've heard it often. I assume it's true because fake news is usually cleared up relatively quickly. I believe that it's true. What Trump said is, of course, 100% certain. And then, of course, I don't know 100% if all of this here can be true. You know how it is, especially during times of war. So much fake news is being spread. But in any case, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. The market reacted bearishly when these rumors surfaced, and then it just dropped. But nonetheless, we're at $70,500 now, which is still a good $2,000 higher than the level where we started this pump. And so I'm actually relatively satisfied with that. But my dear friends, it was clear to me that the market would move upward either way. I think this pump is quote-unquote only this strong because we have the news on one hand, and because the market wanted to go up anyway. I've been saying in my previous market updates all along that the market will go up. I've been shouting it the whole time that I expect the market to continue going up. Now, of course, we have to put the whole thing into a broader context. For that, let's jump into the 12-hour time frame. And there we see my rising wedge, which you surely know from my market updates. We have a rising wedge here, and we'll surely make our way upward. By the way, in yesterday morning's market update, the market was right down here. And I said the market is going to go up. Yes, those are exactly my words. Feel free to watch. Yesterday's market update again. It's very interesting how this prediction really came true so accurately. Personally, I'll continue to expect the market to head toward a breakout here. So first up to $76,000, but then likely through here toward a breakout upward with a consolidation, and then the final sell-off. Down to here, when we finally see the final capitulation of Bitcoin. At the end of the day, friends, I know I've been saying long the last few days. I'm not trying to say the market always goes long. It will long term, of course, keep going up. But looking at the 12-hour, daily, 4-hour time frame, long VOB is naturally only the short-term option here. Please always keep that in mind. My main prediction is not long. It is not long, but I'm saying in the short term, there'll be another push upward before we see the total sell-off down below $60,000. And the main prediction there isn't $48,000, but below $60,000. How low it goes is, of course, very hard to estimate. Personally, I'd expect around $48,000 because I believe if we break 60, we'll already have a 5 in front, a bit lower, and then a dip down below 48,000. That would personally make sense to me. That's how I've thought out my scenario here. Or rather, not just thought it out, but analyzed it. And in the end, I believe that's exactly what happened. This means that what we're seeing here, this pump, actually fits perfectly into our overall scenario. If I take a look at something else now, I see that if I draw a resistance line here, then you can clearly see that from up here, from the crash from $76,000, or rather, what do I mean by crash? From the sell-off down here from the $76,000, that we formed a resistance here. Yeah, we haven't been able to break through this the whole time. It kept pushing us further down, even very strongly towards the end by several $1,000s. And we've now broken through this and already tested it as support. That means, given where the market is right now, and what it's showing me, I have to say clearly, this pump will be sustainable. That's my personal opinion. I personally assume that this pump is going to be sustainable. But a sustainable pump doesn't mean that we'll never go through this support level down here again, or never see a red candle again. A lot of people always misunderstand that. When I say sustainable pump, it doesn't mean that from the moment I upload my video and you hear Max sustainable pump and the market dips a bit, now it's wrong after all. No, of course it's not supposed to be like that. In this sense, a sustainable pump simply means that the market can, of course, go down a bit more, but that we basically hold the level from the starting point of the pump. This means even if we correct down to here, it would still be a sustainable pump, provided the market continues to react bullishly afterwards. And since I generally assume that the market will continue to go up, I also think it's absolutely most likely here that this pump is sustainable. But friends, please be careful. For example, we saw a pump here as well. This pump was also sustainable, but it went back down quickly or was sold off quickly, but then resulted directly in the next pump. You have to be a little careful there. Yeah, but a non-sustainable pump would ultimately look like this. We go straight up and then go straight back down. So basically from here, from the starting point, we've perfectly tested this again. We pumped, we dumped, and then we saw the inverted V correction here, or A correction, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but in the end, this looks pretty sustainable to me. Yeah, I have to say clearly, we've also held our ground overnight. Today will, of course, be very decisive in how the market behaves. But the way it looks right now, the way things stand, is that we weren't sold off immediately. So we got a sell-off, and then we immediately bought back in. And we're also forming more of a bullish formation here now, which actually points to breaking out further upwards. The whole thing actually looks good, and therefore I'll only flip back to the bearish direction starting at $76,000, $77,000, $78,000. I have to say very, very clearly. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to stay bullish for now until we've tested this level up here once. Exactly. Then maybe another important look at the CME gaps. Yeah, we naturally filled this CME gap directly with this pump candle, which we opened right on Monday. We then retested this CME gap here. This was already a filled CME gap, but it was simply retested once more here. That wasn't a problem at all, but something you can also keep in mind, especially for those who trade CME gaps, is that previous CME gaps that have already been filled often serve as support and resistance. That means you can see here, this CME gap served as resistance, and this CME gap even served as support multiple times. So you see that even if CME gaps have already been filled, they can still be very relevant in the future. Up here, by the way, we still have an open CME gap. Yes, and I believe at least that we'll close this CME gap at $74,000. So for me personally, when I trade now, and currently I'm unfortunately only in one trade, which is an Ethereum long that I've already mostly scaled down with my $1,100 in profit here. It's annoying because my other trades were stopped out in profit. Yes, but just very, very annoying. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to properly secure all the trades here. That's just how it is. But basically, I can say $74,000. Until then, I'm definitely going long. What you can also safely do in this regard is click on the first link in the video description. That will take you to the sign-up page for LEVEX, because if I invite you to LEVEX, you get the very, very best conditions. That means you get my exclusive trading signals completely for free. You get the world's highest deposit bonus available, plus you get VIP 5. With that, you currently save a lot on trading fees, making it cheaper than BitGet, Bitunix, and so on and so forth. Just enter your email and password. No KYC is required for this. I also do a market update on LEVEX every day. That wasn't the market update, that was an additional update. Exactly, I do a market update here every day. The market update for today I'm doing now, it always comes out at 8 o'clock, so in 12 minutes from the time of recording. By the time you see this, it'll already be 9 o'clock. Exactly, and for everyone who comments on the market update here, I'm giving away 100 USDT in collaboration with LEVEX. That will then be automatically credited to your LEVEX account after 1 week. That means just register via my link on LEVEX and then comment on my market updates here, give it a thumbs up, and then yes, you can already win 100 USDT. No deposit or anything like that is needed for this, so my friends, check the first link in the video description. I'll see you. Thumbs up, comment for the algorithm. See you then, and bye.